What's up, Internet? This is Full Send Jen. She's busy flying a plane. I'm Full Send Ben. This is Casey, Claire, and Jake. We already introduced them the last time, but we just got done riding at Wake Island. It was epic. Epic. Yeah, we had a really fun day today. We rode at Squaw in the morning. Jen flew us to Wake Island after. Casey called her brother, and he picked us up. And then we went and rode. Everybody hit a feature. Jen hit a feature. Claire hit a feature. Casey hit a feature. Jake hit a feature.
Faces, I think.
Yeah.
All hit phases.
Actually, you guys are going to be fired up on this. Casey took the 360 pull out. Stomped a tantrum.
Stomped a face plant.
Oh, and also face planted. I guess we'll have to include that in there as well.
Cut that out.
Okay, I'll cut it out.
Oh no, it's good. We love it.
We love face plants.
Wait, you got one actually landing case?
Oh, dude, it's so sick.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
She stomped it.
Dude,
Well,
it must be so hard to have a pole doing that. I mean, that must totally
Yeah, I
throw
don't
off.
know how. Yeah.
Starting with one hand, too. I mean, that was...
I feel like I'm home.
Wait,
Oh, here, twist it this way.
You
Boom.
cut out.
There we go. How's that?
I feel like I'm at home when I have a pole in my hands.
They look really natural, honestly. It didn't take a lot of coaching.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so beautiful. So
This
yeah,
is
here
so
we are.
cool.
And we're about to finish up our podcast. We're going to go deep with Claire. I'm excited to learn more about her. She's a engineer,
Let's see this.
geological engineer / athletic adventure babe, just like every other babe in this car.
All
Jake's
the
a babe too. He's cool.
car.
This flying car is insane.
Who's driving this car?
Who is driving this thing? So yeah, here we are. And this is going to be a really cool end sunset podcast.
Stomped it.
Yeah,
And a full moon.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, so we got a full moon and a sunset at the same time. Claire, how does that make you feel?
You know what? The only thing that would make it better is a puppy.
You know what I always say? You know, the only thing that
That's the
makes
most
it
Claire
better
thing
is
I've
the
ever heard.
puppy.
I love that.
Couldn't have planned this better.
That's actually hilarious. We should do a flight with puppies in it.
Oh my god, duh. Like literal
Jen-
brand new puppies.
Jen and Ben in a whole plane packed of
Jen
puppies.
and Ben. Hey, what should we name this one, Jen?
Oh my god, if I didn't think flying and podcasting wasn't hard enough, I'm trying to like
Well, I'm handling a bunch of puppies. Hey, bad Fido. Fido, bad. That's my GoPro. What did I tell you about
Cinnamon,
that?
don't bite that cord.
My GoPro.
Did you on
Oh my
that?
god, don't press that button. That's the only thing, Fido. I told you not to press the red button.
That's the eject button. That's the eject button.
Oh my god.
Fido just takes a shit like in the middle of the night.
Oh my god.
Internet, we're sorry. We haven't gotten deep yet, but maybe we'll start this off with one good existential question. Casey,
Casey.
Casey and Claire, what do you think the gift of flight that Jen is sharing, what do you think that'll do for their podcast guests to answer the deep questions about what the world needs to know?
Change. Face. Serious face.
Serious face.
Casey's face.
She's scared.
Perspective.
Yeah, give us some perspective, girls. What are some young aspiring women who want to be badasses, take on male-dominated sports, male-dominated careers, all the things? You guys just nonchalantly do that. What's some advice you have for younger women who might be looking up to you guys right now?
What's something you think the world needs to know?
Quick, just to back up to your guys' podcast. I feel like you guys could get everyone to say, like, the full truth comes out when you're up here.
Yeah.
Like, because really
nice.
perspective is, like,
I agree.
the whole world's going on down there, and we're just up here in a plane with the coolest people ever. You know? But on that note, Case, what's your advice?
I don't know.
That is a great answer.
I know
Yeah. I
I'm gonna see
appreciate
all
that.
of Top Golf right now, and it's so cool.
I know, I was just looking at that.
I
all
want to
the
go to
lights.
this Top Golf.
It looks so much cooler from up top.
Dude.
Anyways, what advice do I have? I would just say, like, don't limit yourself. Like, don't be like, oh, that's like a guy thing. Like, there's no way I could ever try or, like, I guess, like, attempt anything like that. Like, I guess your only limit is yourself. Like, if you go for it, like, probably do it if you set your mind to it.
Yeah. Mindset is the
Mindset.
whole entire thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's days when I snowboard, and if I'm, like, tired or not confident or in a weird crowd, I am absolute shit
Yes.
at snowboarding. But
Yes.
then there's days where you're all fired up and you do stuff that you couldn't even done the day before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely depends on like the people you hang out with. And I would say, yeah, just like believing in yourself. No negative self-talk.
Nope. Mindset, confidence. You wake up in the morning and you piss excellence.
Always.
That's what you gotta do.
Hesitation leads to devastation.
It
like
does.
I feel like that was basically Casey's answer.
Thank you.
Just do it.
Thank you for
Just
summing
do
that
it.
up. Yeah, just go for it. Because, like, what's the worst that could happen? You fail and you try again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You fall right on your face like we all did today at one point.
Yep. right off the start, Doc.
I did right off the start.
That's the first time in a
Oh.
lot of years.
I can't believe I missed that shot, Jen. Of that you almost face planting in the dirt, went to go right over the dirt, almost front flip.
Oh my gosh.
Jenna is the definition of commitment.
Damn, what a great compliment.
Thank you
good.
so much.
You're
I mean,
biased.
look at you guys. You're wait, we're really brown nosing to the podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? They just want to get on more flights.
You're so cool. Can we do this tomorrow?
Wow, I love this.
Claire actually said something when we were in the car, and I would like to share it because I thought it was super cool. She said that I think that happiness is always changing. And so if I say this is what makes me happy one day, it might change from day to day, from hour to hour. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to add on that? I loved how you said that because I think that's very true.
Yeah, it is changing, and Jenna and I both agreed in the car too. Is I think it's simpler than some people. Their happiness is they get it from adrenaline, and they get it. You know, everyone finds it in a different way, but ultimately, it's like you're content and you're at peace and you're on some sort of stoke level. And for some people, that's, I don't know, writing and being artistic. And some people it's doing backflips on wakeboards. And some people it's flying planes and skydiving. It's so much more simple. Or it's sitting on a front porch, you know, with the people you love with the sunset. Like, I think it's a lot simpler than it's made out to be. Even though it's hard as shit to find sometimes.
Yeah.
I agree. And I mean, Casey, you can probably apply to this too. I know that both of you guys have had injuries. I don't know exactly what injuries you've had, Case, but I know both of Claire's knees and surgeries.
Yeah.
How have you recovered from that? How hard was that? What did it teach you?
Honestly, when I tore my ACL in college, when I was riding with, like some pros, that it sucked, but it was like an easier comeback than this last year. I broke my collarbone. And the worst part is like someone hit me. And I think honestly that like took me out harder than like knowing it was my own fault. Because I was like, what did I do to deserve this? And I know like I should have just took it as like, you know, like just make yourself stronger. Like I should have taken it positive, but it definitely like took me back a little, and I like stopped working out. Like it honestly changed me. But now that like I'm getting back into it, I'm like twice as strong. I'm like, you got to build back up to like where you were. So I'm like going like extra hard. I'm like just strengthen like that shoulder. You know, like especially since we're wakeboarding now, it's summer. I'm like, as long as you just like I guess like wakeboarding gives me a purpose to like want to be stronger, like want to better myself. Like I feel like if I didn't have that passion, like I wouldn't want to like work as hard, if that makes sense. So I feel like finding that passion like drives you to like do your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you appreciate
completely.
what you have sometimes when it's taken away.
Totally.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I took advantage of like what I had, and I didn't realize that like injury set you back like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Corbell?
Even to the point of walking, same thing. Like,
yeah.
you can't wakeboard, which is depressing, but if you're on crutches, you're like, holy shit, I should have just appreciated the fact that I could walk down the stairs and walk out of the house. Like, you really do take everything for granted.
Yeah.
But it does. Injuries are depressing, too. And
They're
if
tough.
you're not doing what you love for 6 months or 7 months, or you have to take a year off,
It's hard.
yeah, there's a lot of self-reflecting, too,
Yeah.
I think.
Big time.
Yeah.
What helped you guys get through those injuries? Like, what were some good, like, daily habits, or what helped you get through that darkness to the light again? I know, obviously, recovering fully, but, like, if someone's hurt right now listening to this and they're really down, how could you help bring them up?
I think kind of like Kay said is the just knowing that you can get stronger and get back to it. Like if you're starting with just leg raises or you watch a snowboard video and you know that you're getting back to it. So, or even if it's
there's the camera
as little as I need a rest and put my leg on the moving machine. If you know you're working to get back to what you love doing.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's like the little things, and like every day you get better. So it's like I guess like those tiny stepping stones, like, will progress you. And then I feel like almost like a mental, like, work on your like mental capability as opposed to your like physical, like while you're in that state.
Which is the hardest thing to do.
Which is, yeah.
I actually love that you say that because I've heard someone say, one of my friends who's a paraplegic said that when he lost the ability to use his body and do sports, it opened up his mind in ways he never knew was possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe if you're down and your body isn't working, maybe it's a chance for you to really push your mind in the boundaries in that sense.
Yeah. Or find another passion, you know?
Yeah.
A lot easier said than done, but even when I first got hurt in basketball and I thought I was going to go to college, I thought basketball was everything when I first was hurting my knees. And then that's why I started wakeboarding, which isn't better on your knees, but whatever. That's beside the fact.
I'm like, that was your go-to.
And then she hurt her other knee. I was like, what?
But then that's when Jenna and I studied abroad in Spain, and my whole life was sports until that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, whoa, you can just meet awesome people, and you can travel the world, and there's just more out there, too, which I know we're saying passion in sports, but on the other hand, there is more out there, and like just the value of meeting people. And don't you think, Jen, traveling, like, it does another perspective thing?
It does. It gives you perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said that because I was just listening to Wim Hof's book. And he was saying he works with a lot of athletes and like a lot of Olympians. And he's saying it's so awful to see these amazing people who have had these huge feats when they get done winning, they get super depressed because that sport or being athletic or competing was their whole entire life. And now they have nothing because it's defined who they are. And he kind of talks about, like, even when you're going through all this, you have to be happy with yourself. You have to know how to be in the moment because any of those things can be taken away from you at any moment.
Yeah, completely.
So it's really just being able to find happiness within yourself. And then I feel like those sports and everything on top of it just makes it that much better. But yeah, I agree. Comes back to that.
Yeah.
And Swerve, back to before, I'm surprised we actually stayed on track so well for our conversation.
Jen's so good at this.
But also goes back to even the quarter life, midlife crisis.
Yeah.
I've done that. I'm like, okay, well, if I move somewhere new or if I get a new job or if I do this, then I'll be there. Then I'll be happy. Then I'll be where I think I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
But lately I've been like, no. Life is awesome, and if I can figure out how to be happy right now, then everything else is just going to come to you. And opportunities in your career or your sport, you know, they'll come to you if you figure it out where you're at right now.
Totally.
Dude, that is so true. There are so many people who are like, okay, as soon as I lose 10 pounds, as soon as I make enough money, as soon as I'm rich, as soon as I buy that car, I'll be happy. And I think the second you realize that and go, I can be as happy as I want with whatever I have because none of those external things are going to make me happy. I think the second you decide that I'm going to be happy no matter where I am right now, I think that's when your life, like, actually switches.
Yeah, and, like, you
agree.
just accept that, like, I'm doing the best I can and putting out positive energy. And, Jen, I feel like you believe in karma and doing good things and things will come to you. But, like, once you decide that you're just along for the ride, and you do the best you can every day, then...
Yeah. Honestly, what's helped me with that is, like, every day I write down, like, 3 things I'm grateful for. And, like, honestly, that has helped me, like, so much, especially lately, like, with Peter gone. And, I'm like, I just need to focus on, like, the good stuff. Like, I've come so far. Like, we're still so young. We've done so much, you know? Yeah.
I love that.
Do you do it religiously every day?
Every day.
Good for you.
And it's helped me. So, like, I didn't do it for a while. especially after I got like injured, like because I couldn't like write, but yeah. But yeah, like I would do it like in my head, and it just like didn't get the point across. So I started just like I bought a journal and I like started doing like 3 things.
Wow, that's so awesome.
I started doing that every morning, and then it turned into anytime I thought about it, sending my mom everything I'm grateful for.
Really?
But then it turned into texting one person every morning when I wake up, just all the fucking things I love about
I
them.
love that.
That is so great.
It takes you out of you.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, who's going through it? Like in the morning, it is good to think about maybe who in your closest 10 friend group. Like,
yeah. And it makes
who's
you
going
realize,
through something like, yo, what's up, dude? I fucking love you, dog.
Right?
Yeah.
And it makes
any
you realize,
reason.
like, I was so thankful for my mom, and like, it happened to be on Mother's Day, but I was just like writing, like, oh my god, like, my mom did this and this and this for me, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Mom, like, thanks so much. And she was like so excited, and I was like, but I wouldn't have thought about it if I didn't write it down, you know?
And that step of actually reaching out, like Ben said. The other day I was driving and I was like, same thing, thinking about my grandma. I'm like, God, if I could just be a little bit more like that woman every day, then I would be. But then I'd have those thoughts and never do anything. I'm like, I should call her and tell her I was thinking that.
Right?
Because it means the world to those people and you don't know what they're going through.
Exactly.
It literally changed my life.
Yeah.
Like over the last 2-3 years, like doing that. Just,
right?
Yeah,
because you don't realize it until, like, you actually think about it. And you're like, oh, I am, like, pretty grateful for all the things I have. And
gratitude journal.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I've also realized that I think that when you get quiet, I think that God puts on your mind who needs it. Because I swear, like, randomly I'll be like, you know, I should text my cousin Cameron and tell him I love him. And I feel like when I randomly do it, it's always the people who are like, and you don't even know right away, but later he's like, I was really down that day. How did you know? So I feel like
crazy.
It's some part of you that knows. It's some part of the universe that knows. Like,
yeah.
I think it impacts people like more than you'll ever know. And there's a reason it's on your mind to touch.
Yeah,
totally. And think about it, you know, yourself. If someone just texts you out of the blue and says, like, hey, you're beautiful and you're kicking ass.
It just, like, makes your day.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, your whole day is way better.
Okay.
I am.
Here we go. Turning this day around.
Hell yeah, I'm beautiful. Why don't people tell me that every day?
I mean,
right?
I knew that, but...
Claire, you actually texted me during my podcast with Sophie. And I usually, like, I try to never fly in text on the record. But Claire texted me and said, you're my favorite person.
Aww.
And it was funny, it actually
We
made
were
the
on
podcast.
the plane, I think.
Oh, really?
We were in the plane. You're like, oh, she just texted me and said that she's my favorite person. Sorry, I love Claire.
I totally derailed, and I was like, that made my heart happy.
That's crazy. We've already talked about this. That's
nuts.
amazing.
That's wild, right?
That's cute. That's true love.
The gratitude thing, that is, Andy Frisella says it too, like, even if it starts as the 2 minutes you're brushing your teeth, you do that twice a day, hopefully, and, like, you can think about it then, right?
Yeah,
and then it can progress to the journal or reaching out to people, like Ben said.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's crazy.
In case you like to do it in the morning, does it matter when people do it? I mean,
honestly, I used to have, like, a routine, since I moved into Fonzie's house.
that's hard.
I don't have a desk, so now I just kind of like do my own thing, and then when I feel like down, honestly, that's when I like pull it out. I'm like, let's be positive, let's get this day back in order, and like, yeah, honestly, when I just see my journal, I'm like, okay, you should do it, because I know it'll make my day just like a little bit better, you know?
And it does every time, like
Every
without fail.
Yep.
And you know what? That's actually super cool that you say that. Maybe if people like intentionally put the journal or whatever in front of them in sight where they can see it when they wake up, it'll help them
like kickstart.
Remember to do it. Yeah. And so it's less things that you have to think about. It becomes a habit.
Exactly. I would love for it to become a habit. It used to be a habit. It's not right now, but it definitely helps.
That's so cool. That's a good one.
I guarantee we're all going to write down things tomorrow.
I feel like
grateful for friends that fly planes.
Jen, Ben, and Plane. And Jake, in case.
Super grateful.
Oh, Jake's sleeping.
Jake's out.
He's smiling. He can hear us.
You know what I want to know, since we're talking about routines, is like, what does an engineer, like athlete, like, people don't know about the Tahoe Reno lifestyle. Like, everybody just focuses on like being happy, strong, and healthy, I feel like. And
Yeah.
then they end up becoming badass engineers, athletes. They're like multifaceted, career-driven, healthy humans. So, like, what are some habits that you have in your life that have made you a happy, strong, healthy engineer?
I think, well, engineer maybe comes along with it, but honestly, being outside and moving your body is huge. Even when you're injured, going out on a walk. It's like, I notice it if I am working too much and I don't make time for a 20-minute run at the end of the day. I am a whole different person. There's like a cloud over me if I don't, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Pretty much every person who's been on the podcast says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside.
It's just moving your body. It's so important.
Yeah, my mom always said it to an annoying point when we were younger. Fresh air and exercise. She's like, nope, fresh air and exercise. It was like a drill.
And no rails.
And no rails.
And no rails.
Cool.
Have you guys ever met Fritz Rayner? Shout out Fritz. So he's, I won't say how old he is, but he looks 30,
Okay.
Yeah.
maybe
looks
younger
great.
sometimes.
Okay.
And all he says is, yeah, just break a sweat 30 minutes a day. That's all. That's it. Oh, and SPF 30. That's all he says.
He's on the
That's
30.
his answer every time.
Oh, no,
awesome.
SPF 30.
I
Break a
love that.
sweat and work out
SPF
30 minutes
30.
every day. Go get some fresh air. That's what he says. Break a sweat and go get some fresh air 30 minutes every day.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
And it's like, that's it, Fritz? Dang, thanks, dude.
I'm more of a
All I gotta do.
gym gal, but I'll get some fresh air every
But
now and then.
you break the sweat.
I do
That's
break the
fresh
sweat.
air.
Does that
Then
count?
like your home
Absolutely.
or
Fresh air.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
I think that it's whatever makes people happy. I don't think that there's one
Mm-hmm.
prescription that fits all, right? If you
Yeah,
like
no,
going
right.
to the gym, then that's you. If you like to hike by yourself, that's you.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's just finding that and that feeling that you have at the gym or out on a run or riding your bike and then remembering to do it. I think it's super easy to forget it. And then you go ride your bike again, you're like, holy shit, why don't I do this every day?
Yeah.
That's so huge, especially for new parents or people in a new career.
Yeah.
Like some of my family members, my brother specifically, like, you know, started a new career as an ER nurse and stopped doing the things he loved to stay like mentally healthy and like healthy. And I'm realizing as a brother, you got to motivate people around you to remind them, like, yo, hey, what are you going to do this weekend? What are you going to do on your days off?
Yeah.
Because it takes a switch.
Oh my
When
god.
you're tired, you literally have to drag yourself into your car, drive to a trailhead, drive to
Yes.
the gym.
I actually went through that.
Yeah, it's real.
I worked like at 8 to 5 for the first time,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and it ended up being like an 8 to 8
Yeah.
because there was like so much work. And yeah, I honestly
2300,
didn't
turn right
go to
in
the gym
210.
for like months.
Shout out everybody
Yeah.
who's working their ass off right now
Yes.
and doesn't get outside. I don't know, maybe we need to make an app or like a friendship thing. Call me at this time to tell me to, like a motivational like thing. It's free.
Yes.
Mental health app. Like,
Get
hey,
your
just sign
ass
up. I'll
outside.
call you, dude. It's like a, you know, you sign up for 1 hour and just call 10 people. Like, yo, what's up, dog?
Get your ass out
Get
there.
your ass out there, dude.
Get your
I
ass
believe
out.
in you.
That's
Get
so
Do
the,
it.
get
Do
the
it.
booty popping.
Your booty belt. Let's just.
Booty belts. Quick,
We're
quick
coming up with
turn. I want the
marketing
booty belt.
campaigns. Okay, this is our time. It's dark. Dang it.
This is it?
This is our interlude commercial.
Quick intermission.
Intermission. This is our intermission. Come get your booty belts.
Come get your booty belts at bibbelts.com.
What are the bib belts,
Yeah,
Case?
Case, tell it. This is Casey's
It's-
business. So I want Casey to share what she's doing because they're awesome. So take
Yes,
it away,
so
Case.
we are about to launch. We have 4 different sizes of bib belts. So bibs are what you wear when you're snowboarding or skiing and you're trying to look stylish. It's like the new in thing. But the ones they make out there are a little boxy. So if you want to fit your waist and you want that booty popping, get some bib belts. It's going to be on bibbelts.com. And hopefully we will launch before next ski season. So keep an eye out. Follow the Instagram.
Keep those eyes peeled.
We'll add a link to the video, and also if you want to see what they look like, we're all wearing them in the ski video. They fit so nice and they're epic.
Game changers.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had
Let's
some
see.
funny
Well, what?
infomercial stuff we were going to put in, but it's too dark. We'll have to do it at the daytime.
Well,
You
yeah.
won't be able to see us.
We'll booty pop later for you guys.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
And we're back.
And back to the podcast.
Roll black, roll black.
Thank you for that.
And clap.
Booty popping. Robot.
And booty pop.
So Claire and Casey, what?
Yeah, 2300, turn right, heading 250.
What podcast or movies, or is there anything super inspirational that you've listened to that we can share with other people so they can like use that later in their day? So the stoke continues beyond this.
Yeah.
Great question.
Don't think too hard.
This one's recent, but the Cody Johnson documentary, Deer Rodeo. I think it's on Netflix. I think it's everywhere, but I think everyone, even if you're not a country fan, needs to watch that documentary. So it's all about Cody Johnson is a country singer, if anyone didn't know, from Texas. I wouldn't even call him up and coming anymore. He's pretty popular. But in this documentary, he goes on about how he just wanted to be a bull rider. His dream was to be a cowboy, was to be a bull rider. And he was out there getting on bulls he had no business getting on, getting bucked off and getting hurt, and he wasn't really making it in the bull riding scene necessarily. Sorry, Cody Johnson, if I'm butchering the summary of your documentary.
At Cody Johnson.
Love you. But his whole message is he basically failed at what he thought was his dream of bull riding, and he went the singing route, and he is making it huge. And his whole message is, maybe God has another path for you, even if it's not the one you think it is. So it's a big ol', if you fail, get right back up. Like maybe there was something that was in store for you that you didn't even know. Something way above you had a bigger plan.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
everyone should watch that. That's 10 out of 10.
Oh, that gave me chills. Yeah.
Aww.
Thanks, Claire.
And sometimes you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so powerful.
Yeah, that's good.
Everyone has their purpose.
Yeah, honestly, I just tell myself, like, God has a plan. Whenever there's something hard, I'm just like, yeah, something bigger. Like, this didn't work out because this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Something better. Yeah,
100%.
that gets me through a lot.
I call them blessings, or blessing lessons.
That's so good,
Your
Jen.
lessons.
That's
like-
so good.
Like blessings?
I've heard of those.
No, like, 'cause sometimes it's a lesson and it's not fun and it's hard, but eventually, whether you can see it or you can't see it, or sometimes you see it right away, or sometimes you'll never see it, I feel like it's always a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Gee dang, it's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Blessings. Hashtag blessings.
Yeah, hashtag blessings. That's
Blessings
great.
with Jen.
Blessings with Jen. When are you gonna give me some flying blessings?
These
That's
are
like
some
a
flying blessings right now. Y'all are a bunch of flying blessings.
Goddamn flying blessings.
That's so,
Well,
so good.
I too, sorry Jenna, but Jenna got me the best book ever. You Are a Badass. On my first internship with Division of Minerals, and she wrote in the cover, said, "You're a badass, read this book, love you, coolest message," and I am maybe the worst person ever, and I didn't read it.
I got it, disclaimer, I got it for 12 people, and I don't think any of them read it.
But it's a good
But the
book.
story keeps
It's the
going.
best book ever.
And then I think 3-4 years later, I finally picked it up and read it. But I swear, timing, because I was definitely not a big believer, and especially when Jenna got me that book, I wasn't. And I think if I would have opened it up and it started talking about how God has a plan, I would have closed it and been like, dang it, Jenna's trying to convert me. But, like, things have changed, and I definitely do believe now. And I told Jenna, I was like, I finally read it. And it couldn't have been a better time to read it, because it, like, truly spoke to me, when at the time that maybe I wouldn't have even, I would have just put it in the drawer
Yeah,
and not picked it up again.
yeah.
But that book as well, if people are looking for a book to read.
I want to read
You
it.
Are a Badass by Jen.
Jen Sincero.
Yeah, great book.
I told Claire in the car when we were talking about this, I was like, well, I think God's funny like that. Like, he'll never push himself on you. Him, her. I don't want to be PC.
Say them.
Whoever, the universe, God. I think that he wants you to come, and I think everything is within time. And, like, I think you weren't meant to pick up a book 4 years ago because it wouldn't have impacted you. And I think he knew the time and the place you needed it, and it's super cool that you saw that.
Yeah.
It happens with a lot of things once you start paying attention to it.
Crazy.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Hashtag blessings.
What about you, Case?
Yeah.
Any good inspirational books or podcasts or movies?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, all my books are still in North Carolina, so I haven't read a book in a while. But
Disclaimer, we're talking about an audiobook either because Claire and I also don't have time to read.
okay. I don't audiobook very often.
Apparently they don't have books on the West Coast. They're all in North Carolina, so Casey can't read.
Well, I have like 10 books, so I don't want to buy a new one because I'm like, I have so many books that are going to be here in like literally 3 days. Honestly, what's that book that inspired me a lot? I'm trying to remember. It's called like 10 Times by Grant Cardone. 10 Times
Oh,
Greater
never heard of
or
it.
something like that. Yeah, Grant Cardone kind of talks about like everything you do, like you should do it like 10 times better than like how you would originally approach it.
Oh, wow.
You'll just be like successful in like everything you do, and it's actually super cool. I probably didn't summarize that very good, but
No, I love it.
if you read it, it's like so inspiring, and it makes you like just want to try harder, like at everything.
Cool.
And it's basically like he just, I don't know how he like wrote it, but like it just makes you want to like just try everything, like do your best, like always. And it's like just always give like that extra, and I feel like that extra is what makes you like stand out, be better at everything.
Like 10 times the effort, 10 times the commitment,
Yeah,
I agree.
full send.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Full
It's
send
an
always.
amazing book. I would highly recommend it to anyone who's like struggling. They feel like they're not like getting anywhere.
That's great. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna read that.
I
Case.
gave it to my
Yeah.
mom, and she like loved it.
Aw.
Yeah, definitely try
10 times.
It's amazing how impactful a book can be, right?
it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like that was the first book I read in my life, and I just felt like, you know,
You were meant to read it. That's just how it is. Yeah.
I was never a reader.
Sometimes
I know.
I tell people who are
I
lost
wasn't either.
to go pick something that they want to put like 200, 300% of their energy into,
Yeah, exactly.
and even just try it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like just, I mean, if you're literally stuck at a job or like, oh, I'm at a restaurant or whatever, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
let the restaurant know if they care about you. They'll let you like go try something else for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
And I've had friends do it, and changed their life.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it's crazy. Yeah, he talks about like your morning routine and like how to just be like successful like every day. It's like crazy.
Grant Cardone's a man.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen? What's yours? Could you pick one?
Oh my gosh, I get off on reading motivational books. I'm like a motivational book slut.
Woo!
She's an open book herself.
So good.
I'm reading Wim Hof's book right now, and it makes me cry and it makes me laugh, and I think it's probably one of my favorite books I've ever read.
Can we
Oh,
give? Can you
wow.
give us the highlights? My boyfriend's all about Wim Hof too.
Oh my god, he just is so simple, but just so profound, and he literally sticks it to 3 pillars: cold exposure, bath, water, whatever, meditation, and why am I blanking on the third one?
Breathwork.
Breathwork. Jeez.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh.
Of course,
sorry.
Breathwork, cold immersion, and meditation.
I've had a long day. But it's just so cool because he talks about everything that we have is inside of us. Everything that we have is here. Everything that we have is free. And we don't need to like keep medicating ourselves. Like you have everything you need and you just have to look inside. And that's basically what he says. And he's just this shit. He literally like fucking just meditates in the snow and hikes mountains in his sandal. He's like the craziest motherfucker ever. He's a legend. Okay, guys. Well, we're getting close.
What?
Yeah, we're here. Reno's right there.
Damn.
Is there
It's a turbo.
anything else you guys want to say? We'll close it out too when you guys are done with anything else you want to say. Just with the see ya. Keep sending it. Anything else, ladies?
Got anything?
Probably. You go first.
No, you got it.
And it's okay if you guys don't, right? I just want to give you a chance.
I'll just say thanks, Jen, for the fun ass day. This is amazing. We got to go ride Squaw. We got to go ride the Wake Island park. This is such a cool way to do a podcast. We'll wake up earlier
Yeah,
next time.
thanks, Jen and Ben.
Yeah.
You guys are amazeballs.
No, thank you guys. It was so cool spending the day with you. Your guys' stoke is infectious, and it's so cool how inspiring you guys are to push other people to try the things that you do. So it was awesome having you guys.
And just get out there.
Yeah.
You know? I
Go
think,
for it.
and whatever it is for you, this doesn't just have to be for wakeboarders and snowboarders and people who fly planes.
Get out there, get outside, and be yourself. Instead of get out there and be somebody, you know, and they're like telling somebody to go do something. Get out there and be somebody. It's like, get out there and be yourself.
Hell yeah.
Just be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. I love you guys.
Colson, love you guys.
That was
Bye.
sick.
Love you, Jake, in the back.
Love you, Jake.
Love you, Jake.
Jake's
Man,
taking
dude.
a nap.
Jake's in the back.
Okay, guys. Can you give me a see ya on 1, 2, 3?
See ya.